I recently came back to making videos on this channel with the aim to discover some of the greatest experiences possible, all whilst completing everything and gaining platinum trophies in the process. And despite witnessing some absolute peak recently, I will always be drawn back to my JRPG roots. I have always been and always will be a JRPG person. It's a genre I always felt most attachment to. Even this channel is a testimony to that, as it started on Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts content. So when Expedition 33 got announced last year, I knew it would be something I had to jump on day one. From the reveal trailer alone, I could tell it would be something special for a JRPG connoisseur like myself. The stunning visuals and art style and an almost Persona-like combat system with a twist seemed almost too good to be true. Not to mention my glorious King Ben Starr was narrating the damn thing. However, now that I have spent 65 hours playing and 100% completing the game, I realized I was absolutely wrong. Because Expedition 33 isn't just a special JRPG experience, it is a masterpiece of the modern gaming industry as a whole. It's not just about the game itself, it's about what it represents in the industry. A work of art that some didn't think a modern game can achieve anymore, a testament that games like this can still be made through passion of creators. You don't need some huge IP or all the money in the world. Sometimes all you need is to be bored at Ubisoft, go on Reddit and use SoundCloud. This sounds so fake, I love it. So join me as I take you through my journey of getting the platinum trophy for Clair Obscur Expedition 33. With a total of 56 trophies, I'll have to complete this story, collect all music records and expedition journals, defeat some of the most unforgiving and slightly unfair bosses I have ever seen, reach the top of a gauntlet area and grind my way to level 99. And because I consider myself such an expert on the genre, I will be doing the entire thing on the expert difficulty. Is there any benefit to me doing this? No? It is just my ego. But no matter the hurdle or moments of wanting to break my controller, one thing is certain. When all is said and done and that final trophy is unlocked, this will truly be the greatest expedition in history. Normally when making these videos, I would go through story sections and details as we progress, but this one is a little bit different. I'll still be going over the biggest story moments, but don't expect me to explain where the Nevrons come from, why this area looks like Las Vegas, or why this walking cane has more aura than me and you ever will. I believe this is too much of a complex riddle in terms of storytelling that is best enjoyed individually, and me trying to explain it just wouldn't do it justice. Trust me, my English is limited as it is. That said, you can expect a bunch of visual spoilers throughout the video regardless, so please be careful. I mean, it is a platinum trophy video, what did you expect? And I know what you're asking yourself, but Press, will I even like this? Well, let me keep it simple. If you are in any way a fan of Persona, Final Fantasy X, Dark Souls, Ben Starr, Inception, Clive Rossfield, Shadowheart, Final Fantasy IX Gem System, Jennifer English, Final Fantasy XIII World Design, I feel like that's a negative for a lot of people. Lost Odyssey, fake protagonist, rave music, jazz music, sad music, hype music, whatever this thing is type of music. Platformers, France, again I feel like this is a negative for some people. Memes, only up, fake protagonists, and of course, then yeah, I think you'll have a great time. The game begins in a city called Lumiere, where every year a godlike being called the Paintress draws a new number and everyone of that age fades away. Each year the number gets lower, almost like a countdown, and this becomes known as a yearly ritual called the Gamage. You take control of Gustav, a charming fella that's on his way to see his ex-girlfriend before she disappears because she's old. No joke, that is actually the plot. The opening act lets you explore Lumiere and get accustomed to the basic gameplay, with the first taste of combat in a warm-up scrimmage against Mael. The flair of the combat felt so Persona-esque, while the turn-based reminded me more of Final Fantasy X. It's like a love child between my two favourite games. But it's legal. It really took this game for people to consider turn-based kinda cool. It almost feels like Skyrim back in the day when all the cool kids that played FIFA was suddenly talking about fantasy and dragons. As I explored, I was checking every corner and ticking off every single interaction. Or at least I thought so, until I realized how wrong I was far too late. Apparently there was a mime I was supposed to defeat for my first trophy that I completely missed somehow. We're off to a great start. He also drops a music record, but luckily there's a replica of it later on, saving us from having to do the entire thing again. On the way to the harbour, we interact with multiple people that are also awaiting their gomage and see all sorts of different mindsets. Some sad, some hopeful for the future, and some knowing they're leaving behind loved ones that might struggle without them. As the gomage takes place, we witness the ending to one of the most emotional opening segments a game can offer. If I had a penny for every game with a perfect opening that features Ben Starr, I would have 2 pennies, which is literally nothing in this economy, but it's still pretty impressive. After seeing every 34-year-old turn into rose petals, it's time for Expedition 33 to prepare to leave Lumiere in order to defeat the Painters and stop this unfair cycle of death once and for all. We get to practice combat once again, and this time I decided not to proceed until I was confident I can handle the difficulty. All of that for 2 XP. 2! With my skills peaking and morale at an all-time high thanks to this incredible speech, can I just say, it was time for Expedition 33 to set sail, securing us our first trophy. Unfortunately, that high morale did not last long. I knew these guys were enjoying themselves a bit too much last night. Gustav wakes up on what seems to be a teleported location, and it doesn't take long before seeing mountains of bodies from previous expeditions. Luckily, we soon reunite with Lunaire, who stops Gustav from ending the game a little bit early. She's a fellow expeditioner and 100% the best girl of the entire game. There is no debate. If you say CL, I kinda respect it, but at the same time, Lunaire is the one. Now that we have an actual party of more than 1 members, I took my sweet time finding enemies to gain some experience, but also just walking around and taking in the views. Is that boss? I even took on my first mime since, you know, I missed the one back in Lumiere, and this got me 2 trophies, one for breaking an enemy and another for using a fully charged overcharge with Gustav. I can see the armor cracking. Oh, time to spill some ink! 2nd trophy. Oh, and overcharge. As for the expert difficulty itself, one more round. Oh! Each time you miss a dodge or counter, it can be fatal, and fun fact, this never gets easier. Regardless if you maxed out your health or not, a single hit can still be deadly if you're not careful. Parrying isn't just a mechanic, it is the game itself. You'll have to fight most enemies a few times to even understand their timing, but that satisfaction of finally getting it done, it is unmatched. We soon faced the first boss of the game, and after all of that time practicing on scrubs, it was surprisingly a cakewalk, securing us the 4th trophy. Spring Meadows, Spring. It was at this point Sora decided to show up to make sure you guys drop a like on the video, otherwise his dad won't have money for his chicken. Don't blame me, I am just a messenger. The opening hours alone already tackle subjects of loss, sorrow, suicide, and questioning if it's worth pushing forward, constantly showcasing through different characters that it's not a one-shoe-fits-all type of emotion. All this along with some of the most stunning art direction I've ever seen in level and character design, the stuff you see within the first 2 hours most games would save for the final dungeon. Also the music. The music! Every single track in this game has emotion poured into it. You'll never not know how to feel. The OST brings out the exact emotion the creator wants you to feel in that specific moment. The only thing I can compare it to is a show I recently watched called Your Lie in April. In case you've never heard of it, it's a really wholesome and uplifting show about musicians, love, and childhood memories, where every single track that plays essentially forces you to feel a certain way. I highly recommend you check it out if you're looking for something uplifting this summer. During my exploration under the sea, I found my first paint cage. These are basically treasure chests that require you to find and break 3 locks to unlock what's inside. The first one is pretty obvious, but some late game versions of these had me running around like an idiot questioning if my eyesight is truly 2020. Hey, paint cage. After reaching some big ass golden mansion, we finally reunite with Mael. There's also this creepy weird butler thing, but he's pretty chill. He teaches me the jump mechanic, so I don't think he'll cause any issues in the future. As I kept getting lost not knowing where to go, I got a chance to practice using Mael in combat. Her fighting style uses 3 different stances, and each one of her skill can put her in a different stance the next turn, making you always plan at least 1 step ahead. After finally realizing where to go, I took on the Wraith King himself, Goblu, and got a trophy for completing the area. At this point, we finally get access to a camp, allowing us to level up our weapons, consume Lumina points, which will become a must-have for late game power scaling, and we also get our first optional scene at the camp. Something I really grew to enjoy is how the story is often told from missing blanks. Just when you think you know the gist of it, there will be a conversation that either proves you right or makes you question all the theories you might have had up until now. It's the type of writing where if you're paying attention, you might get a head start before the reveals become obvious. But the constant question that kept going through my head ever since the opening segment, is the Paintress truly bad? Or is she just another victim of the cycle? With each new area came new creatures, some looking like the toys I would make as a kid, whilst others like the nightmares that made me piss to bed. Either way, they would spank my ass until I said enough is enough and grab the belt for self-defense. Okay, this is getting kind of personal. I earned yet another trophy whilst pushing forward with the main story and found myself in a dream. An acid dream, known as the Gestral Village. Let me tell you about Gestrals, okay? This world and this universe needs a sequel purely for these dudes. They are the embodiment of a weird random NPC tribe done right. None of that BS like Napons and Xenoblade. Yes, I am a proud hater. Casino. Are we about to gamble? Please, please, please do not. I don't have a problem. I can smell it. After taking part in the tournament arc and defeating legends like Bertrand Big Hands, Dominique Giant Feet, and of course Matthew the Colossus, we reunite with yet another member of the expedition, CL, the thick goddess herself. Before leaving, I thought I would test my luck and got absolutely handled by Mummy Golgra. And walked away in shame, grabbing a trophy on the way out. Hey, Gestral Village. Luckily, my sword didn't last longer than 10 minutes, all because I met the creature of legend. The most powerful being Esquier, the most amazing squishy marshmallow you will ever find. He might seem like a method of transportation on the outside, but in reality, this is that one friend we all need. The one that will hear you out, then offer a hug as you begin tearing up. Esquier is the cold side of the pillow we lay on every night. He is my king. After helping him resolve an issue with one of his besties and getting his rock back, Esquier agrees to join us, securing not one but 2 trophies. As I continued my exploration, I kept learning of previous exhibitions, different years representing different approaches or discoveries. Expedition 50 created the London Eye, whilst Expedition 66 had a few mushrooms too many. My personal favourite is of course Expedition 60, but only the real ones know what makes them the most powerful.
We are so much more agile and aerodynamic without the heavy uniforms constraining our glorious muscles. With Leslie's unstoppable training regime.
As you read different exhibition journals, some even overlap information. Information that if the others had, they could have avoided issues. It's a minor detail, but it proves the value of these journals being left for those who come after. After I was done taking in the sights and figuring out new ways to maximize my party members, I encountered my first real block of the playthrough, the Lampster. Up until this point, I was following a certain formula with the expert difficulty. Fight something new, get bodied whilst trying to learn his attacks, go again and succeed. And this formula was working great. But all of that changed when I met the Lampmaster, who I would soon learn wasn't just a boss, but he was the one thing standing between me and the biggest plot twist of the game so far.
Run.
There were moments in this fight I felt defenseless. Looking back at it now, I'm sure I could handle him and defeat him with ease, but at that moment in time, having 2 phases was enough to throw me off. After nearly 30 minutes of attempts, one after another, and simple misses that would ruin the entire fight, I finally managed to succeed. And what did I get in return? Nothing but pain. End of Act 1 left me feeling so empty, and yet still excited, because I was honestly in disbelief. This belief that this game is ticking every single box I could personally ask for. It's moments like these that stick with me, when a game isn't afraid of pulling the trigger. It's a risky move to get rid of your protagonist purely to prove a point, but this message was clear and received. It also helps when a new lead is Verso. Verso is really fucking cool. We escape from the Stonewave Cliffs and secure another trophy. With Esquier now having the ability to swim, I spent a while exploring and getting accustomed to Verso being in a party. Verso's unique trait is his perfection. No, I am not talking about the voice. Every time he deals or manages to avoid taking damage, his rank will increase, starting at D all the way up to rank S. The higher the rank, the more damage he will deal. A big reason why the combat felt so fresh the entire time was that every party member had a different fighting style. No 2 characters play the same, and yet they are all equally good. It's what made it so difficult to choose who's on the bench. As I explored random new areas, I soon found a boss I thought I could defeat without taking any damage. Admittedly, it took a little bit longer than I hoped, especially since you can't restart battles midway, so anytime I took a hit, I just had to sit there and watch him play with his food. But after a little bit of patience, I got the trophy, as well as another one for getting S-rank with Verso for the first time. After going back to focusing on the main story, we unlocked the Gradient Counter, a unique counter attack that can only be used on very specific enemy attacks. This now meant there are 3 different methods of countering your enemies, because expert difficulty wasn't challenging enough. Wow, okay. As I battled my way through the Forgotten Battlefield, I got a combat-related trophy for my L, found some journals, and multiple new pictos. These are attachments that boost your stats and provide unique abilities during combat. They are by far the most crucial part of strengthening your party members. What awaited me at the end of this area would quickly become my new favourite boss up until this point. Oh shit, this is so cool. Bro, the sound. The sound. This dude was straight out of Dark Souls 3. The aura of this being possessed had me weak in the knees and sweating so much I started looking a little glazed up. I am so to making it alive. I feel like this is my best attempt ever. What is this? What? Oh, fuck. Wrong button. Oh, that was so good. That was so good, Verso. Oh, that was so good. Okay. Okay, this is a cutscene, right? I did it. I did it. It's a cutscene. Oh my god, I did it. Yes. Bro, that was so lucky on the first attempt. This is so clean. Oh, hell yes. 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 That is peak. That is. This is one of the greatest games I've ever played. I made my way out of the area and got the Forgotten Battlefield trophy. From there, I made my way to reunite with Verso's oldest friend, Monaco. And I knew this man was special from the second this OST started playing. Brother. He also has his thing for collecting feet, but we do not king shame around here, so you do you, Monaco. After a little friendly scrimmage, Monaco joins the squad, giving us a trophy for unlocking all party members, followed by another for clearing the area. Something I never expected was how a game that's so focused on grief could have so many moments where I found myself laughing out loud, and Monaco is a big part of that. I continued forward to Old Lumiere, where for the first time the game splits up the group and forces you to use specific characters.
Why the hell did you...
Sorry, I fucked up. I just wanted to show
You just have to regroup. The others should be fine. Verso said the heart
Bro
is in the
said
center of
sorry, I
all Lumiere,
fucked up.
right?
This is a classic thing for any JRPG where they will make sure you try everyone at some point, even if it's Kate Sith and everyone hates him even more afterwards. I don't know why we still do this. It's at this point of the story things start becoming far more complex. The mystery around Verso, who he really is and can he be trusted, all whilst tensions keep rising into a showdown against Renoir.
I'd really like for you all to survive this.
This is the first time we get to fight him properly without being wiped out in a second, and this dude was no joke. That was horrible. A lot of his combos had a slight delay to them, so figuring out when to parry was much harder than most enemies up until this point. Damn, everyone's died. Wow, okay. It was also the first time I had to use a regular jump and gradient counter in one fight. That was bad. That was horrendous. Not good. Bruh. After the intense battle, we get even more Mael isolated cutscenes, further pushing her forward as the real main character of the story, as well as the trophy for completing Old Lumiere. After all of those crazy reveals and new theories forming in my brain, I needed to de-stress a little bit. And what better way to do that than spend 20 minutes climbing whatever this creation is. I don't know whose idea this was, but I genuinely can't tell if I love or hate you. And after falling again and again and again and again and again, what do I get as a reward? Monaco's rock hard cheeks. I can't even enjoy a jiggle. There's a total of 5 of these areas throughout the world that have to be completed for a trophy, each one offering a different minigame. They usually sound pretty inviting, but because these are guest shows we're talking about, they're not exactly what you would expect. I mean, how else does a game of volleyball become this? It was around this time I also reached level 33, meaning we were officially 1/3 of the way to the biggest grind of the game. One of the very few missable trophies requires Monaco to learn all skills possible. Luckily this worked out great since Monaco is easily one of the best and most versatile fighters in the game. Thanks to his ability to transform into Nevrons, his range of attacks is by far the widest, from offensive magic to healer magic and even high physical damage. I picked up a couple more combat related trophies, first one for CL consuming 24 tails on a single enemy during Twilight, and the other for Monaco using an upgraded skill 4 turns in a row. This just meant he had to use whatever skill his roulette landed on 4 times straight. In between all the exploring, you can always go back to camp to rest, but mainly to grow relationships with other members. It might not be as deep as Persona, but it's still the best way to really get to know the others. Discussions of scars, family, siblings, and life in Lumiere are just some of the examples. All of this whilst being covered in blood most of the time. Another benefit to these talks is unlocking new gradient attacks. These are abilities of 3 levels that you can use after loading the gradient bar with different attacks or skills. Think of them like limit breaks in Final Fantasy. If you're not a fan of these bonus conversations between the group, you can always choose not to see them. None of this is forced into the main story, and if you really wanted to, you can do only main objectives. This lack of padding in the story shows not only faith in how good this story is as a standalone, but also respects the players and their time. Not everyone is like me and wants to check every single line of dialogue in case I missed anything. Oh, and also at some point I ended up hooking with CL and I genuinely have no idea how that happened. I feel like it's a crucial bit of information for this video. I just got a gradient attack for smashing. That is wild, bro. Once I felt like I've done a good amount of exploring and gearing up, I headed for the first Axon, one of 2 extremely powerful beings that we must defeat in order to create a weapon powerful enough to get us through the barrier protecting the Paintress. You can go straight for the Axon fight, but taking the side routes instead was beyond rewarding, both with loot, the XP to go along with it, but even just the sights. Expedition 33 has some of the most beautiful locations I've ever experienced in years of gaming. I found myself stopping and looking around at the most random places multiple times. After taking down 3 mini-bosses, all representing different emotions, I headed for the main event, the Mask Keeper. And honestly, it was pretty easy. I managed to get it done on my first attempt, securing the trophy and boosting my ego once again, only for it to be crushed by the next area. I'm not sure if there's an agreement on which Axon should be tackled first, but Serene was everything Visage's wasn't. One more. It felt like a sudden difficulty spike came out of nowhere and punched me in the face, only to remind me this is expert difficulty, buddy. Once again, you get the choice to fight some side bosses to weaken the Axon, so of course you know I had to do that. Brother! I thought I got that. Okay. Okay. I thought I had it. There we go. Oh, that was so much better. Oh, I thought I would have done it. Not good. Soon after, it was time to face the second Axon. Alright, I'm calling now. 5 attempts. Oh my, how am I misjudging all of them? Oh my.
Oh my.
That was so bad. This entire fight kept solidifying what I already knew. The art and beauty of this game is unmatched. Art and beauty that will kick your ass whilst you try to eat some noodles. If this is not your game of the year, I don't know what is. That's all I'm saying. Jump too early. You little shit. Jump too early. No, I didn't. Parried. Jump. Nice. Parry. Okay. Now just get lucky. We go again. What? No! I forgot it's charmed. No. Oh, that was so dumb. Did it again. There we go. Ah, it's not over. Oh, it's over. Thank God. Oh. We get a trophy for defeating the second Axon. Every day I play this, I'm just more baffled. Second accent, let's go. But more importantly, received the Barrier Breaker, a weapon for my out that not only would I be using to the late game, but also allows us to finally face the Paintress. After the Axons, I started messing about with some bosses around the world, only to find out I am not that guy indeed. Just bounce on it. Just bounce on it. That's good. That's good. Good bounce. With the next objective being the Paintress, the vibes were good. A little too good. We approach what we always believed to be the Paintress, but instead the big battle ends in questions rather than answers. We get a trophy and begin exploring the monolith, easily the biggest and most versatile area we've seen so far. At this point, the theory crafting was peaking. Every interaction, every line of dialogue had to be analysed. I think the Paintress is Verso's mum, teaching two kids, one being probably Verso's sister and the other being Verso himself. We start getting more glimpses of the Paintress and her memories, but are they what they seem to be? Are any of these for real? Why is this sounding like Kingdom Hearts? After over 2 hours of grinding, saving up attributes, adjusting pictos, and even finding more expedition journals, further proving we're not the only ones that made it this far, it was time for the main event. It was time for Mummy. Oh, it turns out Daddy comes first. Oh, yo, what the fuck? No. Okay. Stop. Oh. Oh, so close. Perfect. I always get that one wrong. This is new. Is that it? Oh, it started really well. I thought we were going to find Mummy. We're fighting Daddy instead. A lot of Renoir's attacks were similar to his first fight. The initial part wasn't too bad. Yeah, his attacks were still heavy hitters, but they were fairly predictable now. At least that was the case until he summoned some big ass tiger or lion or whatever this is, because of course he did. Goddamn painters. What the fuck was that, lion? What the fuck, bro? Go! Get away! As frustrating as this fight is, there is no denying this might go down as the best boss track of the game. Okay, great start. Phenomenal start, actually. After building up Magic of Lunaire, I used an attack called Elemental Genesis for the first time. Okay. Oh, this is good! This is so good! 80k! I am so focused right now. Great jump. Yes. Oh my god, please do not fuck it up. Oh my god, yes, he's broken. My daddy's broken. Dealing all that damage gave me the confidence I needed to finish the job with Verso and Monaco. Oh, I feel so good. Woo! I thought I wasn't recording for a minute. That would have made me cry. With Papa out of the way, there was no time to celebrate as this family affair wasn't over just yet. If Renoir was the starter of this Act 2 finale, then the Paintress was most definitely the main and dessert at the same time. Here we go, the Paintress. Okay, that's a lot of meteors. Damn, they are quick with it. Damn, her attacks are tough. After just a few attempts, I knew my offense was good. I was dealing decent damage and her health wasn't anything insane. It all came down to the defense side of things. Alright people, this is gonna take a few attempts. Okay. Every attack felt like a finisher. The timing of these counters felt like it had to be even more precise than any fight up until this point. Taking just one hit would throw me completely out of rhythm. But with each attempt, I would adapt more and more to each move until finally I managed to end phase 1 with a great encounter. Okay, it's 2 phases. Yay. Something just clicked. I was seeing the attacks in slow motion, giving me time to think 3 steps ahead instead of rushing my counters. Worth it. Oh my god, that was so worth it. Smart move. I'm so smart. Brother! I felt like whatever the Paintress did, I was ready for. This was the most focused I've been up until this point, applying everything I learned in the monolith fights, chipping away slow and steady until that health bar was all the way down. Do I go offensive or defensive? Come on. Oh my god, I'm so close, dude. Dude. And that is when it happened. Somehow, some way, the painters went down on my first attempt. There cannot be another phase. I am sweating so hard. There cannot be another phase. Let's talk this out. It's not too late.
No, we're not done yet.
Please. Protects. What? That's it. Wow, dude. 1,112,000 damage dealt. Bruh, now give me the story reveals. With Mummy defeated, Expedition 33 achieves what no one else could for 67 years. They get the trophy for defeating the Paintress. What follows are scenes that me describing would only dishonor. The plot finally provides answers that we didn't even realize existed. Whoa! What the fuck? Is everyone? The kids as well. Oh, Linnea, you were so happy. With the expedition complete, Act 2 wraps up. We return to Lumiere with more knowledge, and it is time for Act 3 to begin. Up until this point, the plan and process has been pretty straightforward. Most trophies I got were naturally through playing the story and exploring the world. But Act 3 changes all of that. You finally unlock the ability to fly, doubling the amount of areas you can now visit. And it didn't take long for me to realize why these areas were off limits for so long. It was for my safety. The difficulty spike comes out of nowhere like Truck couldn't. Act 3 really becomes that time I reincarnated as a brother in my own painted world. I wasn't sure if I was picking the wrong areas or if I was being stupid, but wow, did my ego hurt. Wow. Chromatic Gold Chevy was my nightmare for an hour and a half. Saying its name out loud somehow made this more painful. But of course, I couldn't just leave and come back because that's weak. I would also not know how to come back.
Let's shake the earth.
Oh my god, yes! Oh! I swear, bro, Monaco better not need that boss for a skill. After traveling the world and looking for a place that calls my name, I finally found it. Frozen Hearts, also known as Punk Hazard. Oh, wow.
This one is huge.
Indeed. I isolated myself here for hours to become ready for what's to come. The XP was surprisingly good for the difficulty of the enemies, and I even got to train with a master dancer who taught me the ways of perfecting parrying. This was also one of the last white Nevrons, so I quickly decided to wrap those up. These are 10 non-aggressive creatures you find throughout the continent that need help in one way or another. You can always attack them after you're done helping, but I would heavily advise against that, unless you hate yourself. Luckily, you can kill one of the Nevrons and still avoid the final fight. I get rewarded with 100 Lumina points as well as a trophy. Ooh.
Your sister created the Nevrons.
There we go. I went back to Punk Hazard to level up a bit more before finishing all character relationships. I also got myself this absolutely sexual outfit for Verso. The first relationship I tackled was Eskia, gaining 2 trophies, one for unlocking all of his abilities and the other for finishing his relationship. I followed that up with Ciel's relationship and Mayel's soon after. The Mayel relationship is the only missable one if you lie to her in the end, but you wouldn't do that, would you? I also reached level 66 as I was making my way through the Mayel related side quest, which by the way, that entire side thing could have easily been a main quest. The level of details in this area and cutscenes is incredible. That boss fight at the end? Yeah, it might be my favourite of the entire game. Not to spoil it for anyone, but it reminded me of a certain Bloodborne DLC, if you know what I mean. Just when I thought this game couldn't get any better, it does. Alicia, oh my god. Bro, this bee. Oh, she went pra, 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 pra. Okay, we'll be right back. I can't lie, I was just spamming. I was like... Maybe, yes! Woo! That was... Oh, you fucking hess. I didn't even see the rewards, I pressed it by accident. That was so good. In between the relationships, I explored a few new areas and got myself into a fight where I used a level 3 gradient attack for the first time. This could be it. Let's see it. Let's see it. Oh yeah, got that trophy. Oh my... Ooh, I didn't even see how much damage that did. But that was disgusting. Next up was Lunette, and this is when I realized I moved with CL a little too quickly. I fumbled the bag and I will never feel true love again. In this game anyways, geez, I have a wife. Monaco was the last one remaining, and now I had the full understanding of every cast member. You can still fully understand the story without the context of these relationships, but the emotional impact just won't be the same. Each one of these characters has a reality they hate facing head on, but the only way to move is forward. Before heading in for the end of the story, I wanted to test myself to see if all those hours of suffering pain actually paid off. So fucking annoying. Firstly, I dipped my toe in the Endless Tower, where I got the perfect flow trophy for consuming stains 4 turns in a row with Lunette. Then I made my way over to take on some of the open world enemies, starting with Sprott. And do not let the name fool you, because this thing will beat your ass if you're not ready. Unlike my first attempt against him, I managed to defeat him fairly easily and secure the trophy, along with one of the most crucial pictos in the game, Cheetah. This allows you to always play twice in a row and is a must-have for any late game content. Lastly, I took on one of the most memorable enemies of this entire thing. A creature so vile only a psychopath would create it. The Gross Titty. This is what I imagine it feels like fighting against Gear 4 Luffy. It is literally Bounce Man, and the only reason I had to fight this was to satisfy Monaco's foot fetish. This was the only time I was sick and tired of someone bouncing my face 20 times. I mean, how much can a man handle? As I started to wrap up the story, I realized I might be a little bit over leveled. As compared to the rest of the game, I was blitzing through enemies without any danger. Oh, okay. Before going too far, I collected the replica of the music record I missed at the beginning.
Lovely.
Oh, dude, I was stressed I wouldn't find this. Oh, thank God. Took in the sights one last time and reflected on the journey that got me here. But it was now time to put all of that to rest.
The voices in their head have to be their own.
I love this so much.
Treat you as if the shadow from the worst day of our lives is going to suffocate you and take you from us too!
That was sick. That was so cool. He does not want to fight us. Is he transforming? Oh, of course he is. Curator. Let's finish this, Dad. Hoppa! I fear I might be too strong. That is a genuine fear of mine. Oh! See, I came in too late, man. Dude. All of the axons? Right, second phase. Hello? Sister. Oh, the paintress. Oh, it's the paintress. Bro, mom and dad are about to have a fight. Yo. Oh my god, she's gonna take them out. She's like, screw the axons. Bro, this track is insane. Verso, come on, snap out of it, man. Alright, let's do it. Bro, look at the damage. This is unfair, and I do feel bad. Is he quitting? He just rage quit. Oh. Bro's just flying around for no reason. Go home. Go paint something else. It's crazy. That's your husband. Oh. Oh. Why did I not counter any of that? Dude, what am I doing? What am I doing? That was so dumb. That was so dumb. Thank you. Whew, got lucky with that. I was spamming that. I got a bit too confident, not gonna lie, but we move. This should finish it. This should finish it. Finish it, Mayo. That's your dad. Papa. Oh, he's doing it again. Oh! The fucking audio! With the audio cart. With the audio cart. Mayo wins. Renoir goes down and Mael stands her ground, but Verso has other plans.
I'm sorry.
Huh? The closer we got to the ending, the more I could see Mael changing. This painting isn't healing anything, it's killing the family and stopping everyone from moving on because it's easier to do that. Verso is the only one seeing that, and so the final clash takes place. Oh, you get to pick! I think Verso, because he knows, well, the boy better than anyone else. I'm sorry, I have to do this. The final moments of this game left me heartbroken, shattered, and most of all, empty.
You're okay.
Jesus. I feel so defeated. Are they gonna hug it out? Oh, dude.
I will miss you guys.
Jeez.
Verso.
You can rest, buddy. The story ends the way it begins. How does it feel to let go? And how do we deal with the loss of the ones we loved? How deep does our sorrow go, and how do we let go? What Verso did was the right thing. He knew the sacrifice is necessary to help others heal. This world is just a canvas, a dream where some of us can achieve so much more than reality. But that doesn't change the fact, fake or not, Verso ends his journey here, so that the family of the real Verso, those who come after, can have a better future. It literally is a homage. It literally is a goodbye right here. With 15 trophies remaining, there really isn't a correct order on how to approach things. You don't have to complete every single thing in the game for the platinum, but when a team has put so much effort into creating these totally optional areas, it would be a dishonor to their dedication to not explore all of it. And since we need to reach level 99 anyways, new areas will only benefit that. I decided to start by making some progress on the Endless Tower, a gauntlet full of enemies and bosses from the entire game, including the ones I never wanted to see again. Each floor is an increase in difficulty with a total of 11 floors and 3 different fights on each one, making it a total of 33 challenges. Ha, get it? 33? After defeating the Lamp Master, I get the last remaining skill for Monaco, securing the Feet Collection trophy. This whole tower can actually be a lot of fun, or at least it was until they decided to throw 2 chromatic enemies at you at once. This was enough for me to take a break and go back to the open world. And this was a process I kept repeating. Complete a few trials, get stuck, go into the open world, find new areas and collectibles, come back to the tower after getting stronger. Whilst exploring the open world, I found all the lost Gestrels. There are 9 of these in total, and you get rewarded with a pain break ability as well as some Lumina and Pictos for finding all of them. Next, I completed the final Gestrel Games minigame, which was by far the most underwhelming one compared to the others. One thing I can say is I will never forget the pain and suffering that volleyball one caused me. There were still 2 trophies related to bosses in the open world. First one was the Chromatic Petanque. It wasn't anything difficult and most of its attacks are easy to parry, but it does keep summoning little sidekicks which can be annoying. I can definitely imagine this being a time crunch if you weren't absolutely over leveled like I was at this point, but still I was shocked this out of all things had a trophy attached to it. The Titty Monster, aka Bounce Panel, was way more difficult and feels like something that actually deserved having a trophy. Instead, chasing this thing was more difficult than the fight itself. The other boss on the other hand made far more sense. The Serpent Fair. The Serpent Fair is a dragon-like lighthouse thing. What is this? This one has you thinking a bit outside of the box. You can either overload him with AP, then dodge as it explodes, or use items to give yourself AP just in time for attacking. I was balancing a bit of both and actually pulled it off fairly well. A bunch of his attacks are extremely fast as well as deadly, so having high HP was crucial to my success. Defeating him also gets us the item needed to max level our weapons. And of course I started with Verso, but that final upgrade was insane. The attack power rose by a couple thousand. This is also when I started using a roulette picto to maximize my damage output. This meant all hits could deal either 50 or 200% damage if you're lucky. I also have a gambling addiction and this made me feel good. Another juggernaut for difficult enemies outside of the Endless Tower was the Floating Mansion. It had me hunting down 4 major enemies. These were all bosses that I faced throughout the story but amped up similar to the Endless Tower. And I was doing all of this to get rewarded with one of the most badass but hardest secret bosses yet. Claire. I honestly didn't think I could beat her. This fight was all about perfection. Anytime you mess up a dodge or parry, Claire will heal 1 million HP. At one point she healed all the way back to max health. Luckily her attack patterns were not too complex, and after surviving long enough, I managed to pull off Mael's level 3 gradient attack, Gomage.
Out of this canvas.
This thing obliterated her. The fact she still had more than half her health left made me feel like I cheated, but hey, I don't make up the rules. From here, I thought it would be smooth sailing till the end, but for some reason, level grinding becomes crazy after level 80. It takes so much longer to level up despite gaining nearly 1 million XP for most fights in the tower. That's the thing about this game, the overall number scaling goes insane. I remember being proud when I got 9,000 damage. Now here I am dealing over 1 million with one combo and it's not enough. The only real thing I had remaining in the open world was the painting workshops. The trophy describes it as solving the mystery, and at the time barely anyone had this trophy. I'll admit I was excited, thinking it might be some difficult riddle or puzzle. But in the end, unfortunately, I was a bit disappointed. It was just a few platforming levels that were far easier than the Gestro games, and you have to collect 3 items before fighting a boss to wrap it up. And the boss isn't anything new either, it's a Lampmaster once again. I have nothing against reusing enemies for late game content, but when it's a final boss to a so-called mystery, it would have been nice to get something fresh, or at least not one I've defeated 5 times already. From this point, the only areas left to do were the Endless Tower and Renwar's Drafts. As much as I improved and thought I was ready for any challenge, the Endless Tower still took me countless hours. 8 hours out of which I include maybe 3 minutes in this video. There were some floors specifically where I spent over an hour redoing the same fights over and over again. There was this one with the Dancer attack which I thought I mastered back in Punk Hazard, but apparently not. Then there was also this one with the Mask Keeper or the Lampmaster once again, but this time with the Creation and Clair Obscur as a screw you bonus. All of these trials building up to the final one that took me nearly 2 hours to complete. Oh, oh my god. Oh, I'm already scared, man. Oh, we're gonna be here for a long time. 2 hours! I actually really like this one. By the end of it, I was trying all types of methods, hoping and praying the JRPG gods would take mercy on me. I cannot die now, bro. They're not gonna be able to do it. They're not gonna be able to do it. It's literally doing no damage. Dude, I was so close. I honestly... Shit.
Okay.
At one point, I ended up putting the controller behind my head, and somehow that one actually worked.
This canvas.
Oh.
Chroma is
Okay.
flowing.
Okay. Oh yeah, yes.
Okay.
Yes, I can do this. I can do great. I can do great. I can do it. Finally, endless indeed. Oh my god. Wait, music this. Oh my god, that means the thing glitch. Brother, it is 2 a.m. I'm trying not to explode. We secured trophies for finishing the tower as well as collecting our music records. In this world that tested every ounce of my patience, reflexes and rhythm, only one challenge stood between me and that platinum trophy. Simon. I hate Simon. This man made me go for a run. I've been getting in shape because of this man. I touched grass because of the way he touched me. I'm actually going crazy. I can't do this. I cannot. I never searched up the Maya one-hit strategy because I thought it was cheap and I just didn't want that. But I basically tried creating something of that kind myself. So yeah, it's good on one side because I've really analyzed the Pictos, but at the same time, I felt like using my normal method of playing was impossible. If any of you guys in the comment section is called Simon, you better not fucking comment. In the end, I spent 2 to 3 hours getting the final 7 levels, went back to challenge Golgrow with my L so I can get her best weapon, the Medallum, rescaled all of my attributes to offensive, basically saying it's all or nothing, and created a monster capable of dealing 92 million damage. That's disgusting. And in the end, all I can say is I hated it. Hit me with that music one last time. Alright, then we go boom, marking card. Then we increase my L's damage. She's got 3 shields, so her attack's more powerful. This is it. Goodbye, Simon. Oh. We have a backup. We used last chance to do this, and now we deal more damage because we are below, I think, 10% health. But okay. Lady Luck was not on our side. How am I still not killing him? Okay. The fuck is this? I've never seen this. What is this? What the fuck just happened? Bro, I don't care. Simon, I want to destroy you. I am destroying you, front, back, and center. Oh my, I cannot believe I watched a cutscene for you. Screw you, man. I was so hyped. I was so emotional about sending you off. Oh, I hate you so much, buddy. I hate you so much. Mark, this is it. Screw you, man. Actually, screw you, Simon. I swear, don't do this to me again. How do you stop this? This is it. The final one. Goodbye, Simon. Oh! Oh! Peace at last. Yes. Yes. I'll probably scream to the mic. I'm so sorry. I hated the fact this is the method I had to use to beat Simon. Sure, I know if I really spent days mastering his moveset, I could have done it. And this isn't cheating in any way, but it kind of felt like it was. I suddenly had to use a completely different strategy that unfortunately wasn't as fun or as satisfying as the rest of the game. Does it ruin the experience? No, absolutely not. And I chose the expert difficulty myself. Yeah, I had so many moments of being stuck for hours, having to redo multiple fights over and over again. But somehow, all of those moments were worth pushing through. I'm glad I did everything else my way. Yeah, it was hard, but I achieved that through repetition. I was still excited to go again and get it done. But unfortunately, that sensation was nowhere to be seen for Simon. With Simon defeated, I returned to the mansion to pick up one last journal. There we go, follow the trail. Which means we are 90% done. We need one more trophy, leaving only one thing remaining. Oh my god, he's there. I can see his bald head. Ladies and gentlemen, we are finishing back where we started. This feels better than finishing on Simon. Bro, this is so embarrassing. Are you ready? Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Hit it! Give me that trophy. Give me that trophy. Give me that trophy. Give me that trophy. Come on. There we go. Let me turn that volume up. Let me hear it. Let me hear it. Let me hear it. The greatest expedition in history. Oh, that feels so good. Let's have a look. Oh my. Oh my. I got an itchy eye. I'm sorry. When I started this, like 2% of people had it. I am so happy, man. What started as a platinum video for one of my most anticipated games turned into a video for one of the greatest games and pieces of art I have ever experienced. Despite not loving the final battle against Simon, it doesn't even scratch the image I have of this masterpiece now that the journey is complete. Filled with moments of heartbreak, sorrow, but also joy. Many moments of tears and laughter. I'm proud to say Expedition 33 is one of my favorite games ever, and I will be praising it for years to come. It's truly a piece of art that transcends just being a turn-based video game. And if you are someone who loves JRPGs or turn-based games in general, then this might be the best platinum experience you can have. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed at least a bit of this video, and if you're still watching at this point, make sure to comment baguette down below, because why not? It's French. I appreciate you guys checking these out. I can't wait to work on the next video. So with that said, I hope to see you all next time. Have a great day.